If you have been following education in Jamaica over the few years, you probably heard repeated concerns about boys' academic performance. Conversations have often focused on achievement gaps, engagement, and how best to support boys throughout their educational journey. However, this year, 2026, the conversation has taken a more, I would use the word hopeful turn. Now, according to the latest PEP results this year, approximately 70% of Jamaican boys achieve the required benchmark. That represents thousands of young men who demonstrate resilience, commitment, and determination. But before we begin, we want to analyze the implications of these results. And let's pause. We want to pause at this moment and acknowledge this achievement. Because every statistic would have represent a child. And every child represents a future. And every success deserves recognition. Wouldn't you agree? So, educational success never happens in isolation. Now, behind every successful children or student is a network of people who invested their time, their encouragement, and expertise. Teachers who would have prepared lesson plans, would have prepared their lessons. I don't even want to use the word lesson plan, would have prepared their lessons. Parents and guardians who would have supervised homework. School leaders who created supportive learning environments. And don't forget the guidance counselors. Don't forget the community mentors. And look at it now. Our classmates, the very same classmates who would have encouraged perseverance. No. To every boy who sat the examination and to everyone who supports that journey, congratulations. This achievement belongs to all of you. It also reminds us of an impact truth. When students receive consistent support, they are capable of remarkable success. So celebrating success does not prevent us, though, from asking thoughtful questions. As educators, we should always look beyond the headline. PEP is not simple about passing or failing. It is part of a placement system that helps determine students' transition into secondary education. And that leads us to ask several important questions. One I want to look at is, will those students provide the academic, emotional, and social support needed to sustain their progress? How will these students continue developing strong literacy, numeracy, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills? These questions are not to diminish today's success, Instead, they help to ensure that today's achievement becomes tomorrow's long-term success. Now, the transition from primary school to secondary school is one of the most significant periods in a student educational journey. So students now going to move from one primary classroom into larger school environments with multiple teachers, increased academic expectations, greater independence, and new social experiences. So many educators recognize that this transition can present challenges for some students if adequate support systems are not put in place. This is why continued guidance, mentoring, academic intervention, and family involvement remain so important. A strong PEP result should be viewed as the beginning of a new chapter, not the conclusion of the story. So how do we build on this encouraging result? There are three priorities deserve our attention. First, we want to strengthen literacy throughout secondary school. Reading remains the foundation for success across every subject area. Second, expand mentoring opportunities, right? Because positive relationships with teachers and counselors and parents and community leaders and mentors can strengthen students' confidence, resilience, and aspirations. And at the same time, Jamaica should Jamaica should continue exploring ways to encourage more young men to consider teaching as a respected and rewarding profession. Now, a diverse teaching workforce provides students with a wide range of experiences, perspectives, and positive role models. And the third I want to look at is to continue expanding practical, technology-rich, and career-focused learning opportunities. So when students can connect learning to real-world careers and meaningful experiences, engagement and motivation often increase. Today's result deserves celebration, as I said before. And we cannot say no. All right? It is to be celebrated. They demonstrated that many Jamaican boys are achieving important educational milestones. And at the same time, this discussion is not about comparing boys and girls. The success of one group should never diminish the achievements of another. Education is strongest when every learner is supported to reach his or her fullest potential. Perhaps the most important question is not simple: how many boys achieve the benchmark? Instead, we should or could ask, what kind of educational system will help these young people continue to strive over the next 5, 10, and 20 years? A 70% result tell us what our boys are achieved, or what our boys have achieved today, right? Now the next decade will reveal, when we look at the next decade now, this will reveal what Jamaica chooses to do with that potential. That is a conversation we are inviting you to have here at the Educator's table. I am interested in hearing your perspective. What do you believe is the most important step in helping Jamaican boys continue to succeed throughout secondary school and beyond. Share your thoughts in this comment, in the comments below. And until next time, giving learning a voice.